Welcome to the Lucha Lounge. I'm your host, Steve DeMarco. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday fun day. I know that I will try my best. But before I continue, I wanted to take a moment to share some news. A couple weeks back, a friend of mine, a guy I'd been teammates with in football on the high school level, we knew each other those number of years. My friend Kelly Wagner passed away. He had a long battle. Seemed to be in good spirits, and then passed. And man, I'm still pretty shook up by it. Now the truth is, when I left high school, when I graduated, I couldn't wait to get out of my hometown. I just wanted to get on with the next chapter of my life. And in doing so, and as often happens with friends or a certain circle of friends, you kind of lose track or lose touch. Whether on purpose or just the way life works. And I kind of was one of those that once I left, I never really wanted to look back. I would come back to my hometown at certain points in my life and stay there for an extended period, but I still kind of, I don't want to say I distanced myself, I just moved on with my life. But the beauty of Facebook is that you can kind of keep tabs, and I want to keep tabs on Kelly as well as a lot of my buddies from my football years, from my high school years, some from even my junior high years, some from my college years. But I'd keep tabs and I'd check his statuses and whatnot. And I know some that do that with mine, and I'm appreciative of those that keep tabs on me. When I heard the news, I don't know. Like I mentioned, it shook me in such kind of a profound way. I mean, you get to a point in your life where you kind of can see your own mortality, and you kind of wonder what the future may bring, or you start to really understand that tomorrow or the next moment's not guaranteed. And while me and Kelly didn't keep in touch per se, I am truly devastated by the news of his loss. And but I will look back at the fun times and the fun moments, and I know I will miss my friend. Now on to some really good news, some stuff that I've failed to mention prior to this. I wanted to give my congratulations to a fan of the show, but a guy I've met on one or two occasions, a really great, talented kid, and Joey Garcia. I wanted to congratulate him and his girlfriend Valerie on the birth of their child, the first child, I believe. So congratulations to Joey, man. I'm so happy when I heard the news, and I'm happy to hear that things are going well, and I appreciate you listening to my show, and I check your stuff out, and man, like I said, I think you're a talented kid, so hopefully you keep listening. And I also wanted to congratulate Brian Keith on the birth of his newborn. So actually, when I leave here, I believe I'm going to go meet up with Brian, and we're going to talk a lot of things. He's reached a milestone within reality wrestling, and a lot's changed since the last time we spoke. So, which was a fun conversation, and I always enjoy getting a chance to sit down with him. But now we'll actually get to film it. So I'm looking forward to it. But that's hopefully next week's show. This week's show is another return. And man, what can I say about this guy? Ruthless Ryan Davidson. I've known Ryan a lot of years. And I'll always remember kind of the first time I really met him and got to see his work, which we talk about. We talked about in the first one. So hello, Austin Rhodes. But I've known Ryan a lot of years. Ryan and I have worked hand in hand. We've worked together. He's been under my leadership. I've been under his leadership. He's one tremendous talent. I think he's a guy that man, just a great example of passion for this business. And I always like talking wrestling with him because he's got such great opinions. And this episode really is no different, and it's kind of a similar situation to the last time, where probably once the cameras stopped rolling, we got into some really good topics. But this one is chock full of some great insight from a really phenomenal individual, in my opinion, a really good friend of mine. Still waiting for the Sweet Meat reunion. I think I mentioned to him that that may be a reason to come out of hiatus. But man, we touch on a lot of different topics. He really doesn't hold back at all. He's very candid, which I thoroughly love. Love having a guest like that who's not afraid. Now, I will, before you do tune in, and I don't want to get any kind of comments or whatnot, this is not a family-friendly conversation. There is quite a bit of coarse language throughout. I try to keep it pretty tame for the most part when I do my show, but at the same time, I don't filter anyone, nor will I filter this or censor it. I think, as I mentioned, I value what Ryan has to say. He said quite a bit. We talk all over the spectrum, from kind of where he's been over the last 18 months since the last time we really sat down and had this recorded conversation. We talk about kind of his transition over the last 8 years from being with PWA at the Commerce Building to now being at the new World Gym Arena, and what we're going through with that. And we also talk performing promos. We talk what it's like to be now the head trainer, and we talk about a variety of guys that he would love to work with. But again, it's a candid conversation. Just a great time. I really was looking forward to it. So I hope all of you sit back, relax, and enjoy it. And if you do, well, as I always like to say, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. But you will be if you get to sit down and enjoy my conversation with my good friend, the return of Ruthless Ryan Davidson. Until the next time, later! Ruthless Ryan Davidson! Oh my God! Again! More mayhem! Wow! Yes! I can't believe you have as much energy after the day we've been through.
Bro, yeah, I like a wardrobe change. Everything. I just want everybody to notice real quick before we get started on the wardrobe change. So, World's Gym is connected. If you haven't noticed, we are here in the brand new Reality Wrestling Arena, right here in front of the stage, which is
World Gym Arena, whatever they call it. Whatever.
Speaking of World Gym, I was over there next door. I was with Gino. We were doing some deadlifts, working out, all this other good stuff, and I packed some clothes. Because I was going to take a shower.
Yeah.
Come over here, but I thought, I was like, well, the shower's kind of pointless. We're gonna be sweating here anyways.
Yeah.
So I said, screw it. So this was the shirt that I had, which is Walter White, and then he has an extra shirt, which is
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Writes itself.
You know how big of fans we are. Brilliant show.
Tread lightly.
Brilliant show.
It's the best show ever.
I'm the one who knocks. Oh my God.
Did not.
No, you're the one who knocks.
The knocking.
So I actually was listening to the last time you were on my show. We talked all things. What a difference 18 months makes.
Man, it's not just 18. It's not just 18 months. It's what a difference it was, man, for me. 2008 to now.
Because
I came into the company in 2008 thanks to you and then Adrian Sensation. You know what I mean? And, pretty much got the red carpet treatment, man. I had this match with Austin Rhodes. It went off real well. They were like, oh, man, we got to get you here in the books. And I came, and been here ever since. And, wrestled obviously other places and stuff. But, man, going from Pasadena Convention Center, which was great. And then we lost it. And then we went to Clear Lake, which Clear Lake was a good building for the memories and everything. But, man, we were like 50 people at best.
Right before the rebranding, right?
And it was no disrespect, and this is no disrespect to, at the time, NWA Houston, Tugboat had his fed, and then Tony Brooklyn took it over. And a lot of those guys, they're awesome talent over there. A lot of good guys. And then, they were Lone Star, and I don't even think they're there anymore.
No, I think they lost their building.
At the time, they were drawing like 300 people, and we were drawing 50. And we were sitting there going, man, like, I know it's not us, so we just don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Then you go to like Doomsday, and there's a cowboy and a bunny, and there's 500 people with hot chicks.
There's an armadillo. There's a full-size.
There's an armadillo. Fuck, dude, just so much.
But they'd have like a line out, and you would look at the ratio, and it was like more women than men would go to the Doomsday show.
And don't get me wrong, like in the wrestling business, like there are girls that obviously come to the show, but it's also the thing too. It's like these girls were like, no offense, they were fucking hot. They were like,
no offense to our patrons.
Woo, you know what I mean?
Space.
I get heat naturally because they're all just going to be like, fuck Ryan Davidson. So, just sign up.
Book's going to be like, I saw one episode, Steve. You can never have Ruthless on here.
Everybody hates me. I'm sorry, we went on a tangent. But anyways, we went from there, 50 people. And then it started to go step by step, and it started getting better. And getting more people. And then all of a sudden, we got the Cube. Cube was great. Everything was good. Okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Time slot was late Saturday night, but hey, screw it.
Early Sunday morning.
We had TV. We were good to go. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, man, we got on the CW. And then when it was the CW, it just exploded. And then we came and...
Well, let's talk about, because from...
I just gave a timeline. Yes. That's just everything. Interview over. See you guys later.
Well, let's talk, because last time we spoke, you were on the cusp of Summer of Champions. We called it Summer Mania, remember that?
Summer Mania.
And then you had worked Pride, and then shortly thereafter, you became television champion, right?
I actually held the title, imagine that.
Come on, you come from holding every title in PWA.
Now imagine that, I held the title. Dicks. I'm
sorry. You can't get enough love here. I'm sorry, man. So you win the television title, and then at Final Heat, speaking of Pasadena Convention Center, we actually returned there. And you worked Brian Keith in a cage.
Yeah, we did.
One of the highlights of probably that event, an event that had Harlem Heat.
That in itself, man. Oh, God. It was so awesome to see those guys, man. It's funny because it's like, us being here. How many times do we see Book and Stevie? You know what I mean? We see it all the time. You know what I mean? So, most of the time, nobody really takes it.
You get kind of desensitized to Book.
You're just kind of like, and then, like, when you turn on and, like, you go home, you throw on the network or YouTube or whatever you got. Watch some old wrestling, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, there's so-and-so, and he's wrestling Book. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. And it's like, we all know don't get me wrong, how great Booker is and what he's done for the business, and Stevie too, what he's done great for the business. But it's like, you don't sit there and it's almost like a reminder, like, oh yeah, that guy was a 6-time world heavyweight champion. Oh yeah, that guy was in multiple WrestleManias. Oh yeah, that guy was in mainstream main events all over the world since like the early 90s. Oh yeah, okay. So it's like, man, if I have a 6th of the career that Book has, I'd be an extreme major success in this business, man. So it's like, it's cool, but Final Heat, man. They had Harlem Heat, and then the cage match with BK, man. Brian Keefe, just like, dude, I've never met such a positive guy. Soon to be a father, by the way. He's like,
I don't know.
The baby's probably being born like
by the
right
time
now.
this is released, I haven't heard from Brian in a few days. So if for all we know, he's a daddy.
Yeah, no, man. And we had a good time. I remember specifically that night when I was talking to him, I was just like, man, like I wasn't even nervous. It was something I remember watching like D. Bryan when he was doing they were doing like the whole behind the scenes WrestleMania 30 thing on the network. And he made a comment where he's like, I'm not even nervous, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to get out there. Like I felt the exact same way. I'm just dude, I was just excited to get out there. I was like, man, I want to get in this cage, I want to have fun. Yeah. And that's what it is, And I think sometimes, like when you're coming up and you're going through matches, and I guess the more experience you have, gratefully, that kind of becomes a part of your niche, where you always get a little nervous, obviously. You always get the butterflies, but then again, those butterflies, instead of it being the fearful butterflies of, oh my God, I hope I don't, fuck this up. It's the, oh man, God, I just really want to get this going, man. I just really want to get in there. It's an excitement, man, and it's like, it's almost like a rebirth of anything, you know what I mean? And it's awesome. But me and BK had a great match. Put him over. He definitely deserved it more than anything, and I was happy to be a part of it, man.
Speaking of another guy on the, you tend to be the guy that's in the title mix. The next one was Gino. You actually are probably the reason Gino's the champion.
I am the reason Gino's the champ. Gino, you motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
I appreciate you being on the show, Gino.
I swung a chair. That kid has the talent, man. Like, dude, up and down. I mean, spoiler alert, he's like Booker's like favorite guy. And rightfully so. He's 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever. He's young, he's talented, he's extremely athletic. I can't keep him out of the ring. Like during training or anything, like he always wants to wrestle, he always wants to improve. And I had a conversation with, a couple of people around the school and everything like that about, passion and stuff. And like passion is like the first guy here, last guy to leave, always wants to be here, this, that, whatever. I never have to question Gino's passion.
True.
Like that kid literally lives and breathes this business. And he's always wanted to be around, man. And dude, if he keeps going down the path he's going, man, by the time he's 24, 25, we've seen him on Monday nights.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, but and you better keep fucking working, Gino. Piece of shit. Fucker.
He says it with love. He said really
I say it with love.
He said really nice things about you.
I love Gino. We did deadlifts earlier today. He witnessed. I made new gains in the gym. I witnessed. Thanks, buddy. So yeah, but you mother. No, I'm just kidding. I'm done. Gino's good stuff, man. I love working.
Now another guy. You're synonymous with this guy, Q. As of late,
I'm done. I'm not talking anymore. I'm gonna throw this fucking chair somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. All right, yeah.
Well, no. Q, as of late, always been in a mask. Always been in a mask. And now he's unmasked.
Finally, thank you.
Has it? What's it been like? Have you noticed a change in him from the time being in the mask to being out of the mask? Because you guys are kind of linked.
Well, one thing with Q and I, man, he's been my boy since like 2007, man. From the first time I met him, he got knocked out. Long story short, he got knocked out in the match that he had. I was the only guy in the back that helped him out to make sure that he was okay. And then it just kind of started a friendship from there, man. And ever since, we've always just kind of like had parallels off of each other. I mean, he's way more fucking athletic than I am, by all means. But, it was just the other fact that he had the athleticism. I had the ability and the psychology to kind of put everything together and kind of get everything going. So it was like the brains and the brawn, pretty much. And he's developed so much over so many years. Like, dude, man, Q is a night and day difference than what he was, 2 years ago when we started the Best of 5. It really, really was. Because during the Best of 5, and with all due respect to Q, I was the one that I'd led that whole thing and structured it piece by piece of what we're going to do. But then again, he did a lot of things as well that he had a lot of part in it that just made it that much better as well. And especially when he fucking tripped over me, spilled to the outside.
It came kind of like the highlight.
That was our angle. We were like, all right, we're we're just gonna wrestle good matches. And then he went and he fell off to the outside, landed on top of his head. And yeah, I was smart enough to be like, all right, I'm just gonna work your head. Are you okay? Yeah. All right, fine. Threw him in there. I was working his neck, and then we worked it as a concussion neck thing, which we all know in the wrestling world how big concussions are now with Daniel Bryan retiring. So it was like the perfect thing to do. And the best of 5, man, it caught like fire, which the best of 5 was really like the best of like 8 or 9 matches. Because we had like 2 matches before we wrestled the best of 5. And then the best of 5 turned into another match, the 6th match, which was the deciding factor. Man, with Q, man, I just love being in the ring with him. He's such a good dude. He's developed so much, and like now, like it's like I'll give opinions on things, or maybe like, hey, try this, try that. But man, he's a dude of his own, man, and just like he's grown. And I just hope that like he continues to keep doing what he's doing, because I know one of the biggest things in wrestling. I know you've felt this way. I feel this way a lot all the time. Is the fact of, oh man, when is a break gonna happen? When is something going to happen? When can somebody tell me, man, just like, do I need to work on my punch? Do I need to work on my kicks? Is there an entrance? There's something I can better my entrance? Do I need to put more heat on the guy? Whatever the thing may be. I know it's frustrating when, and everybody knows where I'm coming from, where like you go up to somebody with a lot of credibility in the business or a big name, and they sit there and they go, just keep doing what you're doing. Come on! What? Just give me something. Just give me something, Just keep doing what you're doing, kid.
Kid, you're great. Just great.
Baby steps,
you're
man.
Great.
Get it.
Don't change a thing.
Don't change a thing.
But we can't.
You can be signed right now, but just don't change a thing.
Well, we can't sign.
We can't sign. No. But anyways, with Q, he's the man. He's literally like my brother, which I think makes for even a better enemy, because it's like that brother that you love to hate. You know what I mean? And it have that special thing, and Book even talked about it, like to where it was like, when he gets in there, he's like, I really wanted to beat the guy up. It was always a fight. Him and I got so much mad respect and love for each other. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was also the thing too. It was like, I did really want to beat him up. And he wanted to beat me up. And it worked. And that's what it was. It was like, oh, you got that? Oh, okay, well, I'm going to get this. Bang! And, and it just worked off from there, man. And we took licks and put our necks out for each other, man. And just a good dude. And I just hope that, I just hope that he progresses and keeps doing what he's doing. Keep doing what you're doing, kid.
Don't change a thing.
Don't change a thing. No, I'm just kidding. Just, he just keeps the consistency as far as like the drive and the hunger, because that can also be like, we all get there. If we do it, we do the right things for so long and then nothing happens, it's like you kind of lose that determination and stuff like that. But if you just keep the eye on the ball, if he keeps the eye on the ball, man, like, going places, man. We went to the Carolinas WrestleCade. That was great for him. He wrestled more than anybody else, more than me and the Lockharts and Alex Reigns. Oh yeah, he was there. He wrestled me, and then he wrestled Papa Don on the main show, and then Lockharts had a great, awesome tag match with the Wolves. With the Wolves on the same night that Q and I went. Q and I had a great match, and a lot of people were like, man, who are these guys? You know what I mean? And then Alex Reigns the next day, he had a freaking slobber knocker match with Wardell Walker. Wardell's a great worker. Awesome worker. You know what I mean? And just the whole weekend was great. But Q, man, like I said, sky's the limit, man. You just got to keep punching away, and you're welcome.
Well, okay. So the first, we'll get into the building in a minute, the monster that we're currently inhabited. But you guys had to actually kick off the first television taping here. Steel cage match. Guys had never been in a steel cage match. I've said you and I have faced each other in a steel cage match, and I've faced Q, but you two have never locked horns. So what was how was that different? Because that match, honestly, man, that was one classic of a match. I can't wait to see the finished product.
Yeah, I can't wait to either, man. And it was one when we get in the back and we're both looking at each other and we're like, hey man, you good? Yeah, I'm good. And we're just sitting there, we're like, fuck man, I could go out there and do another one. Like, it was just one of those matches, and I know you've had plenty of those, man. And as have I, to where it's like everything just goes so well and just meshed so well that you get in the back and you're like, I can wrestle 2 or 3 more times. Why am I back here? You know? and all that other stuff. But man, with Q and I, man, it was just one of those things to where, you know, once again, it was that excitement. It wasn't a nervous, it was an excitement to get in there and have a good time. And we've known each other so well, it's like we just needed to tell that story of like, all right, man, you know, let's just get in there and let's make it good, and you know, let's just put some good emotion in it and all that other type of stuff. And it went off without a hitch, man. And he was there on all his things, and I was there, and
the belt?
Yeah, the belt. That was my idea, just because. Well, the thing was, and I mentioned it to Bruce Pritchard, and Bruce, like, he was like, well, I don't think we need it because, you know, you already have a gimmick, which is the cage, which he's absolutely right. You can't tell Bruce anything. Bruce has been in the business forever, and he's a genius, you know, by all means. And you know, he just didn't think we needed it. And I was like, okay, I respect it. I asked Book, and Book was like, yeah, you know, belt, chair, sword, it doesn't matter. Throw that shit in there.
Whatever.
We was like, well, okay, let's just do the belt. Because Q wanted the chair, and I'm just sitting there like, let's just do the belt. Let's just see that. They'll get it's a loud smack, you'll get the noise, people will react to it. Of course, you always turn it on me for some weird reason, like getting slapped in the chest with it, so it looks brutal, you know. And I just went ahead and got that all squared away, and you know, I looked at Stevie, and Stevie knew. He was like, "Oh man, get that belt in there." Good to go, man. So I think it was a good culmination of a lot of things that we have done, and kind of closed the door on. It closed the door on the best of 5. It closed the door on our whole rivalry, ROW-wise. Do I think I'm going to wrestle Q again? Absolutely. Of course. At ROW, it's probably a long time until I do. But you know, I think we closed the door on everything. You know, I finally beat him. Finally. Thank you, booking committee. You know what I mean? Right guy finally gets one. All right. You know what I mean? Not that wins and losses matter. Don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, man, I can, like, literally, if we went on a win-loss record between Q and I probably have beaten Q in our entire career so far. I've probably beaten him maybe 8 to 10 times. He's beaten me like 50 times. Like, it got to the point to where if we wrestled each other, be like, all right, so beat me with this. What? I'm going over? Are you, what? Get out of here. Like, it's just one of those things. But I was glad to do it. I mean, I never got a problem doing a job or doing my role for anybody. Whether it's Q, Brian, Keith, you, it doesn't matter who it is, you know, that's wrestling, you know, so it is what it is.
Now, you mentioned Daniel Bryan. I mean, it's been brought to light before. I mean, you look back a few years before that, you look at like the Benoit situation, concussions in the business. Now, I can probably recall the last concussion I had, and it's stopped me from, I'll probably never do a moonsault again. I stopped doing hurricanranas. I remember doing it at a TASW show, wrestling Hernandez, one of your buddies. And he called a top rope hurricanrana, and so when I went down to give it to him, even though I tried to cover I just went straight. And so I felt a little compression and all that, and that was the last time that I really remember one.
And then after that, they brought in a giant spatula and scraped you off.
No. And then from that, we had 15 more minutes of, that was like the first part of the match. Like we had, so I mean, all the adrenaline, I can't remember a whole lot. I've seen the match since and was like, wow, do you know how many, have you had many concussions that you can recall?
Really, I mean, the thing is that it's kind of one of the things that they're kind of developing now in like all this like latest research and news where it's like, I don't think I've ever had a concussion to where like I've blatantly been knocked out and didn't know where I was. But I've had a lot of those infamous
like
bell ringers. You know, got my bell rung. I've had a few of those, not as many, luckily, you know, and everything like that, just because, you know, I knew how to protect myself and things like that. And I'm not saying that Daniel Bryan and other guys don't know. It's just, you know, with wrestling, I mean, man, you could take a bump or do an arm drag roll and go, oh, crap, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes that happens, you know, or you take like a body slam and just the way that the ring moved, you know, kind of jars you up a little bit. That's why, you know, wrestling isn't fake. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, okay. So anyways, It's not.
But you've never been like realistically concerned.
There was actually the most recent one that actually kind of worried me just a little bit, to be honest with you. I had a triple threat with Q and Gino on ROW, and there was a part where, of course, it was the finish. Q, it was Gino retained the title, but before he retained it, Q got up and did the 450. Gino comes in, throws Q out, pins me, escapes out with the belt, right? Well, when Q hit the 450, his leg and knee, right on top, and like I was swollen, my eye was swollen, all that other type of stuff. And it was to the point where it was like, okay, I was coherent about what was going on and everything like that, but there was one point where I went into the back, and every time that I have a match, I always, people always come up to me and be like, hey Ryan, you all right? And I'll be like, yeah, because I'll stop and just sit there and kind of stare at a spot, and I'll kind of replay the whole match in my head, just on what I could have done better, what maybe I should have called this spot, maybe I shouldn't have done that, critique, you know? And I was trying to do that, and I couldn't really remember anything.
Oh, wow.
So I was sitting there, and I started asking Q, I was like, hey man, after this, I did this. He was like, yeah, I did that. And I was like, okay. And then I went ahead and did this and that. And then Gino came in. Gino, you hit me with the, okay. And then, but as I was talking, I was starting to remember it. But for a split second, it was scaring me because I was like,
you couldn't get
what just happened. Yeah. So as far as that's the latest one. But man, the concussions, what we're finding out more and more as each day passes, that man, it's crazier more than ever as far as trying to get any kind of or trying to prevent any head trauma or any head injury in wrestling, man. It's just nuts. And I feel for D. Bryant, and I am one of millions of people that can honestly say he's definitely one of my favorites to watch. And I'll be also one of very few to say that I have blatantly ripped you off, sir, of a lot of your stuff, and now that you're retired, I'm gonna rip more of your stuff off. So,
thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But no, that might be that's probably not the nicest thing to say. But come on, all the wrestlers back there are like, yeah, I'm gonna steal all this stuff. But that's just how good he was. You know what I mean? And dude, he's just the man. And just such a humbling guy. I've had the privilege of meeting him a couple times, and just just a kind, warm-hearted soul. You know what I mean? Just a dude. Bray Wyatt is another guy. I'm one of those guys where it's you're shaking their hand, you're talking to him, and you're looking at him going, why are you so nice? I get it. You're probably nice because you're living your dream and doing what you got to do, and respectfully so, but man, we can do a whole nother one of these about nice guys and not so nice guys in the business. But back to the concussion thing, man, D. Bryant, man, I feel for him. Heart goes out to him, man. I know it's rumored that Bree's gonna hang him up pretty soon. And rightfully so, because and she should be with her husband and enjoy life.
Plus, I think with Nikki being hurt and not sure if Nikki's coming back. I'm sure that's a big shock for Bree, who probably her whole life had that person around her. Now let's talk about this humongous building. You and I have been part of. It was real interesting because when I did the talk with Gino was he was thinking this was the first building that he's ever run across, and for him it probably is first building where you could do shows and train. But you and I came from PCW, where it was kind of the standard bearer. There was really no other place like that.
There wasn't, man. When I came to PCW, the first two guys that actually kind of recruited me, it was weird. I had two guys that kind of recruited me from PCW, and then I had two guys that pretty much recruited me into ROW. So if I get two guys recruit me to WWE, that would be fucking awesome. So New Japan,
whoever,
whatever you got the time.
Kenny Omega, come on,
Kenny,
this guy,
Bullet Club. Right on. Okay.
Too sweet.
Anyways, so I first met Robert Evans.
Yes.
Who's Archibald Peck and Jakara, and was
just a great mind.
Oh my God, that guy's incredible. Man. Just so funny. He's smart. He's so smart, so entertaining. He gets it, and it's not only that he gets it, but he's gotten it way longer than anybody else. You know what I mean? And then of course there was American Eagle, and I'm sorry,
Aaron Eagle.
Aaron Eagle.
That's right.
Sorry, American Eagle.
Another guy, another solid guy, a guy who He was a mainstay at PCW, and then once they stopped running shows, like he
was gone.
Kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he was kind of. But he was always the coolest dude. Him and I had a good program when we were in PCW. He was like the uncut champion. He was like the first guy I kind of sank my teeth into as far as program wise, where we got to wrestle and have pretty decent matches, man, and all that other type of stuff. But anyways, man. It's just a whole fact of like, PCW was the standard on the fact of you walk in and you have this ginormous arena and you're like, man, well, like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I want to be here.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you had the talent that backed it up and everything like that. And then they ran everything so structured, to where they had the script, they had their time, you worked your hard cam, you worked this and that. They eventually had the boom cam, all that other type of stuff, let alone they had the lineage and the... and all their prior history to kind of back everything up. So I mean, they were doing great full throttle, and it was a big deal. Like if you were anybody at PCW, you were always on full throttle. Yeah, always. You know what I mean? And it was just such a good environment, man. So like when we was first there, it was great. And then I left in PCW like late 2006, early 2007. And then moved back to Houston, and then now.
And you started at, we've gone from Commerce to XWF to here. So for those that don't realize the importance of having a building where you can run, now obviously like right now we're still kind of in getting it ready, even though it's going to be show ready. Right. But the idea of having a place where you don't have to set up anymore.
This building is 120% specifically just for wrestling.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
As of right now, it is nothing. I'm sure down the line, Book's got plans to do other things with this building, but as far as right now, this is strictly reality of wrestling, nothing else. And that is like, it's incredible. Like how you said, man, we went from Commerce, who was a great place. The roof was a little low, but it was awesome. It was the performance center before the performance center. Because we had 6 to 7 rings set
up. That track.
You had they had the. I was just telling Brian earlier today. I was like, when they paint this floor gray, like Commerce, the old place. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. If I could talk Book to just get a red, white, and blue track to just go all the way around.
All the way around.
Just all the way around the floor. Yeah. That's all we need. But anyways, man. And then we went from there. The roof was a little low, but we had 6 or 7 rings, and man, that place was just like an institution. I remember like conditioning days with the Boogeyman, with Marty, to where like if y'all don't know, he's like former military man, and that guy is cut. It's like he's literally the old cliche saying, it looked like he was carved out of stone. This guy literally, if there was a 6-pack, he had an 8-pack. You know what I mean? Like, and not only would he make everybody do these conditioning days, but he'd do them with you. And he'd sit there, he'd do them with you, and then as soon as he'd done, he'd motivate you. Come on, dog, let's go ahead, let's keep going, blah, 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 blah. And it was just great. But Commerce was good. Then, there were some building issues and stuff like that, through Book and like, I guess the landlord or whatever, and it just thought it was best to move to another building. And then we went into WXF, which in my opinion, it was a lot better, even though Commerce was like 3 times the size, just because you had a higher roof.
True.
And everything was more compact because you didn't have all just this open area. You know what I mean? And at that time, our school and the amount of people that were involved with PWA at the time wasn't as much as obviously what we have now. You know what I mean? Because back then, PWA, you might have had 20-something guys in the back. Now we legit have like 30 or 40 people here, in the back. So it is what it is. It's almost double. So the WXF has been great for, God, I think it was like 5 years. Something like that, 5 years, and it's been great. And in a lot of ways, I'll miss it as far as like memories and different stuff and everything like that. But I mean, I'm just like, I'm looking around here and just all the room that we have, and just the fact that like,
all the extra rooms that we have, all the potential.
It's not just that, and it's not that there's more room to train. But I think we should like kind of give an insight just real quick. And this is no disrespect to anybody, and this is all about paying dues in wrestling. And I get it. And one thing Book has taught me, among millions of other things, and I'm so grateful to get all this knowledge from him and others like throughout the wrestling business. But one thing he's always taught me was, in one way or another, you're always paying dues.
True.
One way or another.
One way.
Whether it's physical or mental, you're always paying dues. So you just kind of have to get used to it. But the one thing about this school that makes me so excited is the fact of we no longer have to set up or tear down a wrestling ring.
Well, you say that. We got a few more days.
Ever again. No more storage. No more late nights.
No more truck.
No more truck.
Well, remember that the first
Oh my
show,
God.
the first taping here, right? Show ends. We're kind of all waiting to get paid, and then it's, what do we do? There was no tear down.
We were all literally.
Everybody was like sticking around, like.
So what do we? So what do we do?
Should we start tearing?
Should we? I mean, do we need to clean anything? I mean, is there? We can. I can go home. Yeah, like literally, it's like almost like a Family Guy moment where it's like, I don't know what to do. The guy just reaches for a gun and blows his brains out because nobody knew what to do.
Yeah.
We were so much like to kind of give people an idea of what we did. It was basically okay. So we were at let's go Commerce. Okay, what we had to do from Commerce to the Pasadena Convention Center when we were there. When I was first there.
Yeah.
You had to show up at the school like around 9, something early in the morning. You had to load the truck, okay, because everything was at the Commerce building. Then you had to go, and once you loaded the truck, then you went to the Pasadena Convention Center, unloaded the truck. Not only did you unload, but of course you got to set everything up.
Yep. Anything to do with
Everything.
PWA or reality wrestling.
Everything.
Anything you saw.
You set it up.
The curtains.
Yep.
The banners.
Yep.
Everything.
The chairs,
lights,
stuff.
all of it, yeah.
All of it. So we set all of it up, have our show, okay, and it doesn't matter what kind of match you're in. You could be in a fucking inferno match and get set on fucking fire. Your ass better believe that you better grab some fucking ropes and that gosh damn wood off the ring and go put it in the fucking truck, because that's what it was. And so it was, God, that'd be sweet to have an inferno match. But anyways, so anyways, you would get done with the show, and then you would literally break everything down. You put it back in the truck, and then you got to go all the way back to Commerce, unload it, then you go home.
Because you had to have the truck back.
Because we were using U-Haul, we didn't have our own truck at the time, which is another thing that we have. We have our own moving truck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally a soup can with wheels on it. Like it's the biggest piece of shit I've ever driven in my life.
Anytime it rains, it's
fucking bad.
You can't take it we couldn't take it to Nacogdoches. It barely gets to Humble and back.
Oh, dude. I'm surprised it literally just like, I'm surprised it got from WXF to the Clear Lake Sports Complex.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Nah, man, that's...
Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, and Books put in so much, time, money, energy, and everything like that. So I mean, grateful for it, But I mean, it's a piece of shit, but it is what it is. But anyways, So that's what we had to do when we were at the Clear Lake Sports Complex, and then of course, WXF to Clear Lake Sports Complex. We didn't have our show stuff in WXF. We had it in a storage unit that was down the street. So
right down the street from the Clear Lake place. So you have to go there.
So we had to go to a storage unit.
Yep.
Take it all out of a storage unit, put it in a truck, go to Clear Lake, unload it, do your show, tear it down, put it back in the truck, go back to the storage unit, unload, have a nice day.
Yeah. And then take the truck back.
And then take the truck back.
Yeah.
Or somebody would take the truck back. So, and then it went from that to, okay, now we finally got our own truck. Okay, awesome. So we left everything in the truck. Okay, and then we'd pull up, we do our show, we unload everything, we set it up, tear it down, put it right back in the truck, and then everybody had left. But there would always be a couple of guys that would always have to just drive it back to the school at WXF and park it, which, was fine. Now, nothing.
At least till we do road shows, and then...
Well, we do road shows, but road shows, it's like, you have the ring, you have some banners, and some guardrails, and like a very minor setup like stage, like not like something like this.
No, you can't even see the monstrosity that's in back.
Like you can't even see.
It doesn't even do it justice, but it is.
That's just the entrance part and some side of the projection. Like it still goes out there and it still goes out over here. Anyways, so just a little setup. So those are road shows, and we do those, and that's fine. But man, it's just at the end of the day, it's a blessing, man, and I'm just so grateful to be just a part of this and just a part of just wrestling in general, man. And I think that was one of the things too, to where like going back to Daniel Bryan, man.
Yeah.
Hashtag grateful, you know? He's like, I got to do what I love for 16 years.
Yeah.
And I made so many friends, and he made money, and he's the type of guy that money doesn't mean shit,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he's just grateful. Then yeah, it sucks, okay, I get concussions, I can't work anymore, I can't do what I love, but I had a chance to do what I love in the first place, let alone for 16 years. Just doing something that you absolutely love, and you get paid to do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about that for a second, just anybody even outside of wrestling, whatever you wanted to do and you got paid for it, you got paid extremely well, and you got to travel the world to do it.
Yeah.
Like, man, it was, he handled it in the most professional, best way that he did.
Yeah.
And hats off to him. And anyway, so and all that other shit, man. But that was cheesy as fuck. I know.
Oh, all good. All good.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, man. Going back to this, like, I'm so grateful to be part of this building. Grateful to have an interview, you know. And just grateful for just a lot of things in life, man. And just it's awesome, and it only gets better from here, man.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not trying to, you know, be a company guy or this, that, whatever. It's just having a good attitude, being grateful for what you have, and the fucking sky is the limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flat out. So.
Well, let's talk about something you are really well known for, and that's your promos.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No,
Oh man.
No, we're not gonna talk about
man.
those stories. That's a whole nother. It's a whole nother show.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Promos, man.
Oh, okay, promos. Yeah, okay.
I've often told people you're probably one of the best mic guys. Period. I'm not talking just within the realm of guys that I know. I'm talking of all guys that I see. You know, from the Ric Flairs, Nick Bockwinkel's. Like, I think.
Whoa, shit.
Well, no. So next time you watch a promo, that's the standard. Well, let me ask you. I mean, did promos always come easy for you, or was that something? Because for some, it's like constantly having to work on it, but for you, it's seemingly.
I think the only thing I could really say is that I don't know, man. Like, I guess the word that I can use, like, if I could put it in one word, I think it's emotion. I've never been a guy that's like come up with these crazy one-liner, genius words. Never really actually like studied from cover to cover a thesaurus and like say all these just crazy, like advanced type of, you know, intelligent words that make somebody go, wait, what did you just say? Look it up or anything like that. But I show good emotion in what I do, and I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
And very passionate about what I do in wrestling and everything like that. And you know, it's so awesome to hear that, you know, from your opinion or anybody else's opinion, I'm a good mic guy. Yeah. And I just try and, you know, tell a story, man, because I know I'm very athletic. I know I'm strong. I've been blessed with that, and I know it's only going to get better from here. But what I lack in some things, I can make it up with promos. You know, okay, I can't do a 450, but I'm going to make you buy a fucking ticket to come see me. Yeah. You know, okay, I can't do a springboard neck breaker, but I'm going to give you a certain look into the camera that's going to make you go, man, I don't know about this guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's just where it comes from. And I'm not saying that like cool moves aren't a part of wrestling, because they absolutely are. Yeah. But in my opinion, in order to sell tickets business-wise, to make money in this business, it's more of this emotion and promos than it is springboards, 450s, and God knows what else. Yeah. It's like that's the it's the explosion, but it's not the bomb. Yeah. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. But I mean, it's just one of those things where it just kind of always had a knack for it, man. Always kind of had like, you know, just an ability to just kind of show emotion, because it may not, you know, bullied on, childhood wasn't good in some parts, you know. Not gonna say I had a broken home, because I had a good family. My mom was there. My dad, my dad was not there periodically, but he's one of my best friends now, and I love him to death, and all that other good stuff. And it's been that way for a lot of years. And just had a bunch of different experiences that I kind of just channel through wrestling. And I guess that kind of what helps me in my career, especially like being, a heel. I do the things that I do, or say the things I say, or act the way that I act, because me personally, I hate Ryan Davidson, the character.
Well, no,
that guy's
that's
a jerk.
the
That
thing,
guy
like,
sucks.
yeah, because
so if I think like, oh,
yeah.
that annoys the crap out of me, then I need to do that in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like if something like makes me mad, like if I watch a movie and I'm watching this guy or girl and she's the antagonist and she's doing such a good job that I literally go away from watching a movie or TV show and I'm like, dude, I hope somebody puts a bullet in that person's head. And then you sit there going, okay, wait, so what are they doing to make me hate them? Mm-hmm. I'm using that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you channel it and use it in your own way. And with promos, man, it's always something that I feel, and with eye contact. And I was never really had best for it. I just wanted to always just try and get my point across, put motion in as I can, and hopefully that somebody pays attention. And I've done it well enough to obviously get some good opinions.
Yeah.
So, you know, thanks. You know.
Well, no, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is that outside of being, when you're not Ryan Davidson, you're just one of the best guys. Like you're always in a good mood.
For the most part.
For the most part. I mean, trust me, being a leader can be a stressful thing. But
I'm trying to. Yeah.
But I remember like
stuff to work.
We were doing. We were filming some promos, and you were supposed to film one where you were kind of in a celebratory mode, and you were like, "But Ryan's never happy. He's never gonna be happy. Doesn't matter. Like Ryan can finally climb the mountaintop, win the title, and you'll still have something to bitch about." Well, much like our buddy Adrian, who will always notoriously have something to bitch about. Deadpool comes out, he's like, I hate the fact everyone likes it. Why are you all here, you poser?
Deadpool's mine. It's mine. My hero.
Look at all the gear I have of Deadpool. Love that guy. He's probably the reason. He's one of the reasons you're here.
No, you're absolutely right, and yeah, he is one of the major reasons that I'm here, man. And big props to him, man, because he was the guy that along with you, to where he saw that match with Austin Rose. He was like, dude, you're the shit. You need to be in books.
I'm serious. Like if you had a best of Ryan Davidson, that match needs to be.
It was just
that match was awesome, man. Because you were never shut up. I remember that. I was like, this guy's never gonna get tired. What the fuck?
But today I kind of get tired. I'm working on that. It's okay. Burpees, they're a motherfucker. They're a motherfucker.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah. Do I?
I guess if you're a wrestler, you can.
Do I?
Someone says you have to.
All right. But as far as and going back to the promos and everything like that, you made a very good point. Go to the top and win the title, which will fucking happen, by the way.
It's got to happen. 2016.
It has to. Anyways, so. Win the title, it's not going to be good enough because it's going to be, so I did what I said I was going to do, and I'm finally the champ, and all the hard work pays off. This is great. Because none of you assholes believe me, and now I'm going to shove it down on your throats because I'm bitter and angry. And see, and I can ride that on until whatever, and then, somebody beats me up, takes it, and then, go off to something else. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, but I just try and do the best that I can to try and get people to not like me. Like, you can like things that I do. If I do a cool slam, okay, cool, I did a cool slam, whatever. But that's not the point. It's the point that I'm not doing the cool slam for somebody to like it. I did the cool slam because I wanted to do some sort of maneuver to keep my opponent down. Something big enough to keep my opponent down. I never do things just to get a pop. What a lot of guys do. A lot of guys do like, all right, well, I got to get this in because people are going to like it. Or you a heel or a babyface. Well, I'm a heel. They don't fucking get it. A heel is you're a bad guy. Like no one likes you. Now that doesn't mean you have to be boring and dull, but you gotta do things that are gonna piss people off and annoy them. Kick a guy while he's down, thumb in the eye if it's done right. A lot of guys don't even do that right. The other certain aspects of match, we talk about that all night, man, but it's just one of those things where, I've always wanted to be the guy to where people, and I've been lucky enough to where people have come up to me and they go, man, hey, I love hating you. Like, they literally have people come up to me and go, I love hating you. Like, it's so easy, and it's great. It doesn't feel like I'm forced or whatever and everything, but then there's that common respect that's kind of there. Now, I'm not saying I have it figured out by no means, because if I did, I'd be main eventing WrestleMania in Dallas, you know what I mean? But it's one of those, and even at that, I wouldn't have it figured out, but it's just one of those things where it's like, get an idea of it, you know what I mean? Get an idea and just trying to make it progress and grow from there. And that's all I'm trying to do, man. Just like anybody else, man. Just trying to get better, man, so I can get signed, buy mama a house, get some strippers, and a bunch of like hallucinogens, and I'm just kidding.
And then you get fired.
And then I get fired, and then I'll come back here, and it'll be great. I'm just kidding. So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about a kind of an inside thing, but anytime, probably because of the comparison, anytime anyone brings up Kevin Owens. So to set the record straight, what is your problem with Kevin Owens?
I don't have a problem with Kevin Owens. Because he's Kevin Owens, that motherfucker. No, the thing is, there's always going to be people that are going to like compare other people.
I mean, you were compared to Big Show for a while.
Oh, God. Okay. Big Show, Tim Curry, Billy Joel, Kevin Owens, and there's probably one that I'm missing out. And it was just...
Well, no, there was that picture that was on Facebook of you and who was it?
Julian from Trailer Park Boys, Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. The list goes on and on. But to Kevin Owens, man, it's just like one of those things to where...
Because I've had to stop people. I remember somebody was like, they were trying to pay you a compliment.
Right.
And I was like, don't bring up Kevin Owens.
But it's not that I get like angry, upset. It's just that, don't get me wrong, Kevin Owens is the man. He's great at what he does.
Yeah.
And he's awesome. And he totally deserves the spot that he's in.
Yeah. And
deserves the spot to where he ever progresses. Dude, the guy's a phenomenal wrestler, man, a phenomenal performer. It's just the thing is that don't compare me to somebody that's already there. Because that tells me, oh, well, you're just like that guy. We already have that guy there. You're not showing me something any different. Fuck you. I'm Brian Davidson. There's only one of a kind of this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm not like that guy. You know what I mean? And just all that other type of stuff. And that's nothing against him or nothing against Kevin Owens. Then I'll admit, like at first when he came here, he's wrestling John Cena and he's going move to move with John Cena. And I'm going, okay, I know I'm not the most lean guy out of the bunch, but I can definitely hold my own, and I'm strong, and I'm athletic. But let's see, I look at John Cena, who literally has an 8-pack. He's G.I. Joe. He's got muscles, and he's ripped, and he's got one of the best physiques ever. And then you look at Kevin Owens, and he's going move for move, hold for hold. And to me, the way that my brain works in wrestling, it's not that he couldn't beat John Cena. It's just that when you go move for move with a guy that's way more superior than you in strength and athleticism and all this other type of stuff, you have to do certain things to get around that. And he's picking him up and slamming him just like John Cena is, and then he's fucking throwing him over here and throwing him over there, and I didn't fucking buy it. I just didn't. And I know people are going to argue to where like, well, they did this and they did that. I'm just telling you my opinion of it. It's not that it's wrong or that it's right. It's just my fucking opinion. And that's just what it was. And I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that you can go right in off the bat. Now, and I gave this analogy before. It's like, okay, if John Cena knocked Kevin Owens down, and then Kevin Owens did something metaphorically or grabbed like the mound of dirt. And you see him in the movies where like the bad guy's getting beat up and the good guy's like, come on, this, that, whatever. And then the bad guy just grabs a mound of dirt and flicks it in the good guy's eyes. He's like, ugh. And then the fucking heel goes and ugh. And he just starts mauling him down and using things to help him out and stuff. That's believable because he can't take him on one-on-one. What I was watching, it was literally move for move. Best of it. And I didn't buy it. I'm like, there's no way. This guy lives in the gym. That guy lived on his couch. I don't buy it. I just don't. I just didn't. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. And it just, that's the way I thought about it in the matches. Now, the matches were still great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they were shit. They were awesome. It's just the way that I was thinking in wrestling-wise. And we could talk about that all day. And you hear it on other podcasts where it's like Stone Cold or anybody else, like the guys don't sell as much. They do too many moves because everybody's hurt these days, and a lot of things I agree with that. I really, really do. But everybody's going to have a different opinion on stuff. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, whatever works. If Kevin Owens and John Cena is selling out arenas, which it has been doing, it works. Whether it's right or wrong. So, in conclusion with this Kevin Owens thing, the only reason why would get slighted by it was because I didn't want to get compared to him. It'd be the same way if somebody compared me to a Stone Cold, or compared me to, you know, Arn Anderson or a Fit Finlay, who are guys that I truly adore or whatever, but with all due respect to them, I'm not those guys.
Yeah.
I want to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to be me. I don't want to be another this, because that's been done.
Yeah.
I want to be me.
Yeah.
I gotta be me, you know what I mean? Like, just fucking, I'm so sorry for doing that just right there. So anyways, I want to be Ryan Davidson, or whatever gimmick, you know, get signed and they want to call me, you know, Charles fucking Archie something, I don't know, whatever thing that they gave me, I want to be the only guy that can do it, one of a kind. You know what I mean? Just as how I looked up to the guys like Arn Anderson, Fit Finlay, Stone Cold, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, you know, Nick Bockwinkel, all these other different guys, Eddie Guerrero. There's only one Eddie Guerrero. How many luchadors was there? Never, but there's one Eddie, there's one Ray. You know what I mean? There's one Dean, there's one Chris Benoit. But how many different great technical guys were there? There's Kurt Angle and Bret Hart. There's only one of those. I want to be just Ryan Davidson, you know what I mean? So that was really the only reason why with Kevin Owens, it was just that. As far as anything against the guy, no, of course not. Guys, like I said, talented as shit. People call me Kevin Owens, oh, that looks like Kevin Owens. Now I'm just like, ha ha ha, whatever, okay, that's fine. And I just shrug it off, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I do admit, at first when he was sitting there getting his push and I'm seeing these matches with John Cena, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But once again, they sold out arenas, they made money, you know, they're doing something right.
They're doing something right.
So there you go.
Recently, as of pretty recently, you become kind of the head trainer. Like, you're the guy now.
I am the head trainer.
Okay. Well, well, because
the
from being there,
guy.
Okay. But you're now the head trainer, and we're obviously going to go through once the building is. I mean, it's pretty much ready for training and whatnot.
Yeah, it's pretty much ready.
How's your take on training? Like, as far as just overall, what's your philosophy with it?
My take on training is the same way that you should take yourself as far as walking into a gym. Doesn't matter if it's a CrossFit gym, a chain gym, a powerlifting gym, or whatever. You don't need to walk in the same way that you've walked out. And unfortunately, at the old gym for a while, yeah, you'd have productive nights and guys would sit there and they work good, but work ethics kind of slummed down a little bit. And there's been a lot of complaints because of that, and rightfully so. And it wasn't really necessarily anybody's fault, like, as far as, like, as a whole. It's just been a lot of different things that just got balled up, and then it was just like, oh my God. You know, because you'd walk in, and, like, I can't tell you how many nights that I'd get so frustrated on my drive home when I was, you know, not the head trainer or whatever, because I wanted to get in the ring with guys, and everybody would just, you know, we'll just talk about this, or, oh, let me work on a few moves, and then they go. They leave, you know, or anything like that. Then you have like one or two guys that would want to wrestle, which is great. It's better than nothing. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got an advanced guy here working with just this brand new guy that barely knows how to do a hammer lock, he's going to get productive, but the guy that's on the show where it matters, at the moment, he's not getting any work. So it's just like, okay, you know, once again, it's better than nothing, but it just wasn't working out. And I pretty much talked to, you know, the higher-ups in the company, you know, here at RW, it was Kevin, Book, and a couple of guys, and I'm just sitting there going, you know, a lot of people, they'll come up to me, because I kind of took over a role of, like, you know, just organically, of just being like, hey, let's lead this, guys, let's do this, let's kind of come together, you know, team effort, man. I was organized sports my whole life, football, amateur wrestling, swimming. Yes, I'm a great swimmer. Martial arts, all this other stuff. So I've always been involved in like a team-oriented mindset, you know what I mean? Even though this is a sport or a business, you know, whatever, based on individuality, I think it's a team effort in a lot of ways, especially with ROW. To put on the best show, to be the flagship of Texas wrestling, you got to come together as a fucking team, you know what I mean? And there wasn't a lot of that within the school. So when I got together with Kevin Sev, I just basically told him, like, look, there needs to be a pecking order. There needs to be somebody in charge that's going to do things, people to back him up. And then there needs to be law laid down, because you got so many people going, well, I have this problem, who do I go to? Or I have this, or this person isn't doing that, or oh, I got this discrepancy, or this, that, whatever. Nobody really knows who to go to. So I just like, look, there's got to be a pecking order. There's got to be some guys that they know, if I got an issue, I go to that guy.
Yeah.
If there's something with finances to where, pay my dues, my monthly dues for the gym, I need to go to that guy or go to this guy, whatever the case may be. And I spoke my mind about it in a professional way, and they pretty much made the announcement, and they go, Ryan Davidson is now the new head trainer for Booker T's Wrestling Academy. And I said, awesome, about time.
Yeah.
But I knew by taking on that role that really I can't do it by myself.
Yeah.
Like I can oversee things and put a lot of effort in it, but it's a big job to kind of handle this certain thing, and there kind of needs to be supplementation to back that up.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided that the best thing for me and the best thing just for the environment for everybody that's a part of reality wrestling to be around is that you need to have some trainers, need to have some guys that if I'm not there, they're there, or they're not there and I'm there, we're always communicating with each other, we're on the same page. We don't have to, we can have different views on things, we can think differently, we can think this is better, that better, but it's all what's better off for the group, what's better off for the company, what's going to make guys better. Because that's the only way you're going to get better in this business. You got to develop guys that are going to get better and wrestle guys that are better than you and go and do more shows. And we want people to know that if you come to books, you're getting your money's worth and you're getting trained and you're getting trained right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not necessarily like this is the gospel, because you need to go out and go to different places and kind of experience different things to where you can learn and all that other stuff. But it's like, it's not that book's way is the gospel, but then again, it's like, well, how many other guys have had the type of career that he's had and the type of business? And now, granted, the business is way different than it was back then when he was in it as compared to now, but what's old is new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he has a lot of things and a lot of knowledge still to this day that could benefit anybody and everybody from any kind of level of wrestling. High flyer, brawler, it doesn't matter. And the best thing that book teaches is how to be a superstar. How do you work like a main eventer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is how you do it. This is how a star does this.
Yeah.
And with the school, we can do that. And I can take what book has shown me and show all the other guys, like, all right, we're going to apply it in training and do that. And one of the biggest things is just, once again, it's work ethic. It's not going to be any more of this come in, let me do a little hamstring fucking stretch and then do a couple of rolls. I'll work on hip tosses and I'll call it a night. Nope. We're going to get in there, we're going to fucking sweat. And I'm doing it with everybody. We're sweating, we're busting our ass, doing conditioning days, doing everything to where you will not leave the same way you come in.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact that if you wasted, and this is the way, once again, the way my mind works, if I'm paying money to be somewhere, and I'm spending gas to come from one place to another to come train, and I'm not getting the full benefit of my hard-earned money to get where I want to go, why the fuck am I here?
Yeah.
And a lot of people for a while here, and not to name names, and not that they're bad people.
Well, no, I would tell you this,
they would
like,
show up and they wouldn't do shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh, and you're paying money to be here?
Yeah.
Dude, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're absolutely nuts. Get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and fucking work and bust your ass. And that's what I'm trying to do here, to where it's like, it's a good environment for everybody. Not everybody's got to like each other, but everybody's got to respect each other and get along with each other. And you always want to be that guy that, regardless of whether, he's kind of a jerk, or she's okay, or whatever, at the end of the day, if you're that type of worker that if you look on the card and your name is next to somebody's name, you go, wow, awesome, I get to work so-and-so tonight. Hell yeah, you're that guy that everybody wants to work.
Yeah.
That's the goal that you need to set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And training here will do that.
Yeah.
So that's basically one of the biggest things, just work on work ethic, respect with the trainers that I got, and the guys that I picked that were always here and always are a good asset to everything and have a great mind for what they do. I mean, sky's the limit, man.
Yeah.
So
now for those that are on the indie circuit now, that want to come to reality wrestling.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before, but I mean, now that you're more in a leadership role than before, because before we all kind of take a back seat and just kind of observe. I know I was kind of the same way. Like, let's just see how things are going. And even though you and I would have conversations of frustration levels of like how things could be better,
Yeah.
Now that you're in the
that's the
leadership.
goal. You just want things to be better.
Yeah, it's not like, oh,
it's
man,
not about,
it's
my idea is so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck your idea.
Yeah.
It's just literally like, dude, what's gonna make 100 more people come to this show? Or what's gonna make this angle way better? If making an angle way better is me taking your finish through like a table or something, then fuck it, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's for the business.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not for, oh, I gotta get my spinny kick of death thing in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but continue.
Well, so like for guys that are coming in, like we've had Keith Lee pretty recently.
Yeah,
we have Shane Taylor, who's been pretty consistent now. Now a tag team champion. But for those like that aren't here, what advice would you give them? Because I know, when I first came here, it was kind of night and day. I mean, I was a top guy, done television. I came to a tryout, and Book was like, freeze that, which we've all dreaded that infamous phrase.
Man,
but just the idea of the nuanced stuff. I mean, like, what would you tell a guy? I've known guys that I've said, oh, I think the guy's a quality worker, and they have a name elsewhere, and then they come here and they're not successful for whatever reason.
I think it's because it's what I would tell a guy for coming
Guy
in.
or gal? I mean, anybody
Guy or
come
gal.
in.
Guy or gal is basically just like, do what you know how to do, and I say this in training, do what you know how to do 10 out of 10 times, it's gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
And the kind of the secret of doing of being a good wrestler, and this is once again going back to Daniel Bryan, it doesn't matter what environment he was in, he knew how to get over.
Yeah.
And as long as you have a knack or at least an idea of how to get over in certain places, then use that. Stick to what works and get rid of what doesn't. And I think what people do, or what's a make or break for them when they come into an environment here, let alone any other organization that's out there, on the independent level, I think you should stick to what works and get rid of what doesn't.
Yeah.
And if there's something that's been working in all these other feds, and that's fine, but you come here and it doesn't work, then adapt. Some people just don't adapt.
Yeah.
It's not that they weren't good enough. It's not that they didn't have the talent. Because, dude, there's a boatload of talent. Keith Lee, Shane Taylor, Ray Rowe, Jack Stain, a lot of those other guys, Mike Dale, a lot of those other guys that have been outside, Ken Carson. I'm going to just keep going. Moonshine Mantell. A bunch of other different guys around Texas. You know what I mean? Real Deal Nobi Bryant.
Matthew Palmer.
Matthew Palmer. I never even met the guy, and I don't know.
Dude, that guy is
an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. Matthew Palmer. I'd love to have a match with him. What's his name? Brandon
Collins.
Brandon Collins. I totally forgot his last name when he was like my first well, he wasn't my first full throttle match, but he was like my second full throttle match at PCW. And dude, Brandon Collins was always great. And there's a bunch of other different guys from around Texas and Houston. I mean, we can sit here and talk about stuff, but these are guys that like stand out to me. And like the only thing is that they're all welcome to come here by any means.
Yeah.
There's an open door. I mean, here it just, if things that have worked over there doesn't work here, then adapt it. It'd be the same way if things worked here and then I went to there and then the crowd was all like, I'd adapt. I'd adapt. It's just that simple, man. Andy Dalton, another guy, another great worker.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you for peeing on my couch, you asshole. Just like ask
You're
JT
still invited.
Lamato and
You're
Mitch
still
Carter
invited.
about that.
You're still invited.
You're still invited. You're still a boy. You know I love you. People.
I think the biggest thing a lot of guys don't.
Ricky Starks.
Oh, Ricky Starks, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
Oh, congratulations on NXT, by the way. I saw you got thrown. It was crazy. Bro, my back hurt just watching that. I was like, God.
Oh, yeah, that was painful, man. God, you are.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll tell you a quick funny story about Ricky Starks. We did this Texas All-Star Wrestling show, and we all wrestled for Bob, love Bob, everything like that. Yule and somebody, Yule was facing somebody. I think it was big guy. Jason
Sullivan.
Jason Sullivan. Thank you. I'm bad with last names. I'll remember first names, but I'm bad with last names. So anyway, Jason
Luckily
Sullivan.
we know the same.
Who's another guy that I've had a fuckload of matches.
And he's done television not overseas, but
Jason Sullivan is highly underrated.
And he's got a good mind for it, man.
Great big man wrestler, man. Jason Sullivan's awesome.
But likes to wrestle big man.
Yeah, he's not a big man that likes to do, let me do a suicide dive.
Yeah.
No, just stop.
Please.
But it's like, why do big guys are doing suicide dives at dopes? It's like, what are you doing? It's okay.
Everyone's doing it.
WrestleMania. All right, Cup, do your shit. Anywhere else, stop. You can do so much more.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to Ricky Starks. Yule was wrestling Jason Sullivan, and they were kind of doing this falls count anywhere match, to the best of my memory. And all of a sudden, I was talking with Ricky earlier, and you were bringing up talking about music, and he was all like, "Hey, man, we were talking about Michael Jackson and Thriller, and what was it? The songs was like Thriller, Smooth Criminal, Beat It, you know what I mean?" And once Beat It got brought up, it was like, oh man, that epic knife fight, where they're knife fight dancing and everything like that. So we sit there and we came up with the fact of like, dude, we have to go out there for a pull apart because we got to pull Yule and Jason apart to do this. And I was like, and we have to shove each other. It's going to be a big brawl, and everybody fights in the back. And I go, let's have a knife fight. Let's do the Beat It knife fight. Sure shit, man. We get back there. Jason and Yule are blah, 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 blah. They're rolling around, this, that, whatever it's at. Me and Ricky, and all of a sudden we're like, come on, man, we got to get in the back, blah, blah. And we're all doing our shit. Next thing you know, we just grab each other's arms, fucking in the middle of this fucking brawl for no reason, just, you know what I mean? And it was just awesome. But yeah, all the guys that I've named, as far as like Texas Indies, and I know there's a shitload more, and if I'm not saying your name, I apologize. Don't think
Trust me, it's just what comes to mind right now.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. It's just
blame Andy Dalton. It's his fault.
Fucking peed on my couch, man.
On his couch.
God, come on.
On his couch.
Jeez. But anyways, no. As far as anybody that comes here, the book just stick to what works and adapt. If something doesn't work, or hey, that didn't get a big as pop as I'd react, or I thought, then just don't do it. Plus, at the end of the day, if you know that rule about each show you wrestle like no one knows you.
Yeah.
Then you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
You just won't.
Yeah.
And there's been other guys that have came in that have went ahead and they've worked, and then they'd sit there and they'd go, oh, well, I know this will get over, or oh, this has gotten over here, so I'll do it this way. And then they do it here, and everybody's like, what did they just do?
Yeah.
And it didn't get a reaction. You can't count on that so many times. Unless you were at that level to where it's like Shawn Michaels and you stomp the foot, people know the super kick's coming, then that gets over when you're at that type of level. But being here and being on the indies and everything else, man, just like do what you do 10 out of 10 times. Act like no one knows who you are each show. Doesn't matter if they've seen you a million times. Yeah. Just give 120%. Stick to what works, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Follow protocol.
That's follow protocol. Yeah. And that's all it is. And as far as the guys I named, I'd love to work each one of those guys and get outside of ROW and do shows, because there's a lot of people that think, and I've gotten this so many times, and I was going to put a Facebook post about it to where it's like, Ryan only wrestles for ROW. I don't just wrestle for ROW. I'd wrestle anywhere else. It doesn't matter. If you book me, I'll be there. Field of Dreams. They build it, they will come. If you will book me, I will come. Both ways. So you know what I mean. So it is what it is. TMI, I know. But it's just one of those things where people will think of that. And the thing is that I toned back on bookings because of the fact of, Book did have a rule to where it was like, well, I kind of want my main core guys to just be ROW only, and this is the environment that's kind of gotten me to where I've wanted to be, and have gotten me so many opportunities to go not only across the state, but across the country and wrestle. I'm going to come to a place to where I can get all the knowledge and go, and I'm going to pick this booking over maybe this other booking that's only going to pay me $20 or $30. Yeah. That's 3 hours away. Yeah. And quite frankly, for me to take a $20 or $30 payday for 3 hours away, that's on me. That's not on them. Yeah. And I just won't do bookings like that anymore. It was cool 6-7 years ago, but now that I have a lot more experience, I have a lot more knowledge, and I've 10 times better worker than what I've been. it's just business, just how it is. But at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is that I'm working on the fact of 2016 to get to a lot more different places outside of ROW. But reality wrestling is my priority. It's my home. And this is my mainstay. This is my turf. So if any reality wrestling show, I'm here. Any show outside of reality wrestling, if anybody would like to book me, by all means, I will get my gear bag. I'll come to the show. I have no problem doing business with anybody. I'm not one of those guys where it's like, oh, you don't pin me, or I don't get pinned. I'm a guy to where, like, I understand business. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have an ego. You know what I mean? The only thing I want is I want the best match on the fucking card, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you if I get booked.
So if people want to book you, great segue. How can they get a hold of you?
Facebook, man. Facebook, Twitter. Twitter, I'm at the letter R, the letter D, Ryan Davidson, Bear, because I'm a bear, 5'7", which is my college football number.
Well, I thought that was when you were born, 1957.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying, you're like old as time.
I'm not old as time, I'm 30. I'll be 31 in April, but whatever. But at RDBear57 on Twitter, and then at RDBear57 for Instagram, and of course I'm Ryan Davidson on Facebook. And that's how you do it. And that's all you gotta do, man. It should be like, hey, can you be available for this date? Cool, I'm there. That's all it is. And, there's been other bookings that were, if there's something that I turn down, I give you a reason on why I can't make it there. I'm just not one of those guys that, like, no call, no show, or, screw that guy. I'll always give a reason why, And, if you're one of those places that, like, and I hate to say it, and I don't mean to sound like a superstar, but if you're just going to pay me $20 and I got to wrestle a bunch of guys that I got to worry about that might not know what they're doing, and even though I know what I can do, and I know how to protect myself and everything like that, but if you think you're just going to pay me $20 or $30 and get like this 30-minute match out of me, you're absolutely insane. You know what I mean? Pay me what I'm worth, because I'm worth a lot more than that. And as are other guys, and guys should get paid for what they do, and that's the pay scale. That's what it is, man. I give you quality matches. I'll give you entertainment. I'll do everything I can in the best ability to have the best match on the card. That's it. So pay me that. I'm not saying, $500 a plane and a hotel room. I'm not saying that. But if there's guys out there that have that and would love to book me for that price, by all means, you can contact me on Facebook. It's all good. Anyways, but you know what I'm getting. You know what I mean? So I'm a reasonable guy. I'm not an expensive guy. I just, I want to get paid what I'm worth. That's it. Which is not hard, because I know a lot of guys on the Texas Indies, and I know I probably might catch heat for this, but I know a lot of guys that get paid a crap load more than what I get paid here at ROW, but it's not for the money, it's for the experience. And there's a lot of guys like Keith Lee, and I've worked Shane Taylor a couple times. I'd love to work him again. Ray Rowe, love to work Ray Rowe. Jax Dane, Ricky Starks, Mike Dell. Never got in the ring with Mike. Always wanted to wrestle Andy Dalton. Get back in the ring with Noby Bryant, Brandon Collins. All these other different guys. Never had a match with Matthew Palmer. Would think it'd be awesome to have a match with Matthew Palmer. Haven't heard from him in years, but Wally Darkman. Holy fuck!
My God, that
I was supposed to
amazing.
I was supposed to have a fucking program with Wally Darkman at PCW. And it never happened. And I was like, oh, you dicks. Oh, God.
Tim Storm.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
God,
Tim, how could I forget about Tim Storm?
He's felt like the founder.
He just had a birthday, too, I think. Dude, Tim Storm, man, that guy, and that's another guy, too, just like Brian Keith, that, like, so nice, so positive, just a good dude, and just, he's a leader, man. He's a role model to do all of what he's done and how he looks, and he's in phenomenal shape, you know what I mean? And, Tim Storm's great. And I've had a tag match with Tim Storm, not with him, but against him. And that was a funny thing, because that was actually another show where it was like, to where we all, basically me and Adrian Cessation and Tim Storm and another guy, I believe his name was Angel, we all reffed matches. We were special guest referees for each match that was before us leading up to our tag match, because we didn't have a referee for the show.
Wow.
So we called this on the fly and did this, and that's probably one of the best memories ever. And Tim Storm is just such a good dude. And like I said, there's countless guys from Dallas and guys from Austin and San Antonio and a bunch of other guys that I haven't named that are good dudes. And that's the type of rep that I would like to have, was be a good guy and and help out whenever I can and stuff. And not everybody's gonna like you. Hernandez, Not everybody's gonna like it, but it is what it is. And I don't hold grudges, so you know it's whatever. I just want to get booked. I just want to try and have the best match on the card, and that's pretty much it, man.
Well, I appreciate your time. Wait, before we go, you saw Deadpool recently.
Oh, awesome!
Adrian, everyone's seen it.
I'm gonna go buy the merch, bro.
Oh my God,
Head to toe.
I'm gonna get it too.
He's my hero
now.
He's
mine.
He's not yours. He's mine.
No, thanks, Adrian. Thanks for letting us know about it.
Dude, you held it on for all these years.
You're the guy.
You're the man.
You're the man.
You're the man.
I wish you were here.
I wish you were
right
here.
now.
Right now.
Helping us set up. Oh no. Ryan, it's always a pleasure, dude. We can talk for years. Appreciate it, buddy.
No problem. Go see Deadpool.